All right, guys, this is Old School Will. I wanted to talk about a few things on this that we don't very seldom talk about. I got to doing a little digging and got really curious, and once my curiosity is sparked, I just go all kind of different directions. But with all the turmoil and everything that's going on now, especially with our House of Representatives, Old School got kind of curious as to why would anybody want to be a politician. So me and old chap GPT kind of got to working this morning. And I started digging and pulling up stats and graphs and all of that other good stuff. And you'd be amazed at what I pulled up. If these figures are accurate, you're going to be shocked. In one of my first graphs, I decided to find out what was the salary of all of these Congress people in 2025. And believe it or not, the rank and file members are making roughly about $174,000 a year. Speaker of the House makes about $223,500 a year. The major and minor leaders, they're in a smaller category of maybe about $193,000 a year. And the staff of the House and Senate, those guys are getting over like fat rats. They're in around $225,700 a year, $250,000 a year. Now, on the last graph, it's only 4 of them. You're going to see actually how many days these guys and ladies actually work. And that's what blew my mind. Now, also understand, when we get to the second graph here, I think that you're going to be really, really shocked, like I was. So let's kind of take a look at that one. Now, as you see on the second graph, Congress and executive salaries plus the perks they get. Now, what that first graph only showed you what their basic salary was. The second chart is showing adding in all that extra money they get, cars and plane rides and whatever else, golden toilet seats, I guess, and all that other crap that comes with this. Now, the blue section indicate, and this is for a 4-year period of time that they're actually in their positions. The blue side represent their the 4-year status, and the red side estimates the 4-year worth of perks they get from the government added with that. And as you see on the first one, on the cabinet secretary, over a 4-year period of time, $1 million, and that's just a 4-year salary. And the perks added to that is over $400,000 over that 4-year period, which gives us a grand total of $1.4 million over a 4-year period. The vice president, as you see, is $900,000 over 4 years and over $500,000 in perks over that same 4-year period, which gives him about the same, about $1.4 million. Our president, over 4 years, is $1.6 million. And with those perks added into it, which is over $2 million worth of perks, grand total is $3.6 million over a 4-year period. Speaker of the House, $894,000 over 4 years. And added with his perks is over $300,000 over 4 years, which gives him a grand total of $1.1 million over 4 years. So it gets better, folks. Trust me. Congress leaders, $773,000, plus the $250,000 over a 4-year period. Grand total over $1 million. And Congress, the rank and file, those poor guys, they're only making $696,000 over 4 years, plus their $200,000 in perks. And those poor guys are only making $896,000 over 4 years. That's shameful. That is really shameful. I often wonder why people want to get into that business. And I'm kind of glad I looked into this because this began to show me something. Okay, guys, we're going to continue on with this. The final chart we're looking at here is how many days do they actually work to kind of grab that kind of money? And this is based upon the year of 2022, 23, and 24. The orange side, or dark brown, or whatever that looks like to you right there, are the days that they're actually scheduled to be in session. The gray part is the senator's schedule, and the blue part is the actual days the Senate works. In 2022, the House worked on an average of 112 days. I don't know about y'all, but I worked a lot of extra jobs in my time in the business I was in. This is one heck of an extra job here. They worked 112 days out of 365 days in a year. The Senate only worked 171 days out of 365 days in a year. In 2023, the House worked only 117 days. It didn't have a graph for the Senate part for some unknown reason. But last year, the Senate was only scheduled to work 123 days out of 365 days in a year. And the Senate actually in that same year only worked 102 days. As I said, folks, this is not a bad extra job. I see why people want to get into politics. Most of us think that they work an entire 9-to-5 job 5 days a week like us. No, it doesn't happen like that. And the bonus point, this is what the taxpayers pay these individuals. We haven't even talked about the perks they get. That's something you need to pay real close attention to. When politicians get in office, and by all means, I am not talking about all politicians, because there are some very, very, very good politicians that do their job for the people. Us, me, you. And they stand on that. But there are some that don't stand on that. And what's happening today is we're finding out who's who. Our next task is our question is, what are we going to do about it? I figured there are some things that are not talked about that we, as taxpayers, need to wake up to and see exactly what in the world is going on here. It's kind of amazing to me that you can run for politics, have a basic job making every Joe Q public, making maybe $50,000 to $100,000 a year in your regular job. You run for politics, you get elected. You go to Congress, you go to Senate. You may be even fortunate enough to become president. And then that number just jumps. And I mean, it jumps. We're not talking about chump change. We're not talking about $1 or $2 million. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. We're talking about even to the $1 billion category. folks, just like I sat here and I looked up a lot of this stuff this morning, it took me probably less than an hour. Because when I got that thought in my mind, I was kind of, that curiosity kind of stepped in. And then I started hitting that old keyboard, which is something, us old folks don't know that much about, but I every day learn more and more about computers. But it's shocking. You can go into politics making less than $100,000. But when you retire or get voted out, you're into the millions, if not billions of dollars in your bank account. Let that soak in. And with all this being said, Old School Will, I hope I sparked a little curiosity in your hearts there. Start researching and stop believing every word someone else tells you. And if you don't even believe what Old School is telling you, take a few moments out of your day and sit down on the computer and start finding it out for yourself. It's public record, by the way. It's public record. It's out there for the taking. You just have to know how to look it up and where to look it up. I'm going to do a lot more digging in the future here because I want you to know. I want every person in this country to know what's going on. We need to stop fighting each other over nonsense. Because the end result to every one of us is we're going to expire someday. So how do you want to go out? You want to go out hating your fellow man for no reason? Or do you want to go out like Christ wants us to love each other, regardless as to what our skin color looks like? Because no one had a choice in the matter as far as what you look like when you first got here. Everything you learned after you were born was learned. And where did that come from? We sure didn't open up a Bible to learn what Christ was telling us or what God was trying to tell us. We listened to each other. That's one of the main reasons why we're hating each other for no reason. Shameful. Oh well, with all that being said, you guys stay blessed. And I can't say the latter part anymore because I don't know, but y'all stay blessed.